Hello and welcome to GPTV on, yes, can you believe it, Tuesday the 2nd of May, Gary.
It's here already, Phil. It's going fast. This year's just running away.
Whoa.
Just running like it's like at the Grand Prix, one of those cars just been flying around the corner, just kept going, Phil.
A third of the year done and dusted. Yep. And as we sit here on the stand here on the 2nd of May, if somebody wants to sell their house and they're not quite ready to get it on the market, so a few weeks preparation time, we're already now bizarrely talking about a late June, July auction.
And I'm listening for spring. Don't know about you. I don't know about you, Mr. Whether you're just sort of sitting around twiddling your thumbs. And I'm already listening for spring.
Well, I'm a bit of a thumb twiddler.
Bored, you know. Get some interesting places coming up, Phil. Some fascinating things going on. And look, we talked last week about the no offence, it was a no offence edition, Phil. We didn't want to upset anybody, but you found a way to do it, didn't you?
Did I?
Found a way to do it.
Who did I upset this week?
Well, you started off on Saturday morning, gleeful, shining, happy, smiling, and basically just fresh and ready for the weekend.
Yes.
You did an auction in Hughesdale. You smashed it out of the board. Did a great job. And lo and behold, on Sunday you do an auction in the middle of Caulfield. And you go, I just sold in Hughesdale. Like, where's Hughesdale? Like, all of a sudden, you just actually were quite, not negative, but you were disrespectful. And I'm going to tell
snobbish.
you...
Snobbish.
Yeah, snobbish.
Yeah, snobbish.
You were snobbish. And I'm going to
holier than thou.
Holier than thou, snobbish. And I'm going to just tell people, we love Hughesdale. And Hughesdale is a fantastic area, Philip. People are selling for big money there, as you know, we'll talk about.
I do know.
But, somebody came up to you, because, we know that there's people that are, very sensitive. And they said, you may have upset Hughesdale people. There was no Hughesdale people at the auction you upset, but you were put on notice.
So somebody is essentially saying, I'm offended on behalf of people that weren't there.
But might be offended.
And I don't know them.
That's right.
I don't know them.
Yep.
I don't know where Hughesdale is.
Yep.
But if I did, and I did know people from Hughesdale, I am taking an official position where I'm upset on their behalf.
So I just want to thank that person, because we brought it to our attention, and he's all the better for it. And Philip, as much as he's got this facade of, absolutely being... what's the right term to say, Phil?
Erudite?
No.
Charismatic?
No,
handsome?
Really. No.
Fit?
So, maybe.
Gorgeous?
I'll think of it. No, none of those springs to
So
mind, really.
here's I'm just going to smash your whole theory apart, right? Because, you like to present to the general public that somehow I offend people, and you're you're Charlie Brown or someone is equally as unoffensive.
Charlie Brown, is that the person that does? Is that a designer?
I think Charlie Brown got cancelled.
Yeah,
Charlie Brown, the comic strip hero.
That one, yes.
But just so you know, we're talking about Crottenhurst. What time was Crottenhurst?
Crottenhurst was at
come on,
12:30, I think.
No, it was 1:30. 1:30 on Sunday.
It was 1:30.
1:30 on Sunday.
Where are you going with this?
No. I'll tell you where I'm going.
I like it.
On Saturday, I did a 10:30 auction, 11:30 auction, a 12:30 auction. I then did on Sunday morning a 10:30 auction at 11:30.
No, you didn't do 10:30.
Okay, I did an 11:30 auction.
You did, I know that.
A 12:30 auction.
Yes, you did.
And it was 1:30 before I offended somebody.
Yeah.
So I'd got through all of Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. I'd got through the first half of Sunday before I offended somebody. I've got to tell you, I think that's an excellent outcome.
Okay, I'll pat you on the back for that. Well done. Now, Phil, not very often that I talk about theatre, and because, I'm not the same lover of the arts as you are.
Well, sometimes the races can be theatrical.
Oh, okay. Well, when you see me rip up my TAB ticket, stomp the ground and cry, that's pretty theatrical at the races. But, Philip, we do have something to talk about today, which is the showing of Driftwood.
Yes.
A fabulous musical.
I'm going on Thursday night.
I hope you do, because I caught it last time around. This show is on its way Melbourne, Sydney and Broadway. It's a fabulous story.
Melbourne, Sydney, Broadway.
It's a fabulous show, Philip. It's set in the war years. It talks about a family and their struggles through the war. It talks about also the inventor of the fold-up umbrella, a wonderful Viennese story, Philip, because in Vienna, we love the fold-up umbrella. But anyway, if you haven't seen Driftwood, get your tickets. It's something special, chapel on chapel. If there's any tickets left, jump on them, because Tanya Jejong and her presentation and her performance is outstanding.
Lovely.
Driftwood.
Well, I'll tell you more next week, viewers, because I'm seeing it on Thursday night, but it has got massive reviews. And the fact that it's moving to Broadway, because you've gone Melbourne, Sydney, Broadway, that's not at a theatre on Broadway in Sydney.
No,
there is a Broadway in Sydney.
No, it's Broadway in New York, Philip.
Yep.
Do you think we'll ever make it on Broadway?
You know what, Gary? I'm just happy to live in our little world here, doing what we do, which is providing shelter to
the
humans.
masses, yeah, and to the masses. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I was watching a show about Barry Humphries the other
Yes.
night, and I actually connected it back to you, Possum,
Right.
because what I thought was, Barry Humphries was he had this persona, right?
He did.
And he was, and he liked
had
to
many
be a little
personas.
bit, he had few. Well, he had two main personas, of course. He liked to be a bit shocking and a bit cheeky and a bit stirring, a little bit like you, but outside of that, he was very respectful and very polite. I think that's sort of, you've got a bit of Bazza about you there, Phil. A bit of Barry Humphries about
Bit
you.
of Les Patterson.
A bit of Les, well, maybe a bit more Dame Edna than Les Patterson, but, perhaps a bit of both there. So, and of course, we both got that in common. We always like to take on the establishment. We always like to laugh at rules and rule makers, and not that we were criminals, but we always like to dance around the edges a little bit, Phil. And real estate is full of naughty boys like us, I think, and naughty boys and naughty girls. It just seems to be that game, doesn't it, Phil?
Anyway, the good news is, viewers, I got through till halfway through Sunday before I upset somebody.
Done, Phil, yeah.
That's as far as you know, anyway. I mean,
I haven't got letters yet. I haven't opened my emails yet today.
We normally have a kind of 7-day grace period of allowing complaints to come in.
But it's not true, actually. We really don't get complaints. Very rarely, not often.
I think it was pretty good going. And I am now referring to saying to people, I mean this in a politically correct way, a non-misogynist way.
And when you say that, it's usually covering up
after
something
I've
you said previously,
yes.
which is going to make you out as being a misogynist, which you're really not. But,
I'm working very hard these days, Gary, to not get cancelled.
Yes,
I don't want to be the first auctioneer in Melbourne that got cancelled.
Exactly
and viewers,
right.
if you are interested in this whole cancel culture, I've just finished watching a 2-minute video of Ricky Gervais having a crack at people that cancel people. So if you want it, viewers, send me a text, send me an email, send it into ideas@garypeer.com.au, and we will send you this video, which is absolutely priceless.
I think we're very aligned to free speech and debate. Of course, we don't want ugly speech, but free speech and debate is a healthy thing, Philip. We should be able to debate, and we should be able to see things differently and enjoy.
We should always celebrate differences of opinion, except when the differences of opinion are different to my opinion. Right. But we should celebrate differences of opinion when those opinions are expressed without violence and without disrespect.
Yeah, that's right. And like I've said to you many times, Philip, I could agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong. So I'm not going to do that. So let's get on a little bit with what's going on in the real estate world. Phil, hey, we had a very good weekend, some strong results, some big results, some strong results. And incidentally, we sort of sat in line with the industry. I don't think we really smashed it this week, but I think we were sort of up there in the mid-70s, which is pretty much in line. I saw a few results that was around the same, a couple that were less, because they report differently. Phil, Domain, Real Estate View, and REA all have slightly different.
Get that.
No,
I really don't get that.
No.
Put your feet in the shoes of the consumer.
Yes.
Real estate,
Are they smelly?
Real Estate View. And realestate.com and domain.com, the three major portals,
they are.
if they can't get the same
consistency, data
clearance rate, it just doesn't give you a lot of confidence in anybody's data.
Well, that's pretty close. They're usually within. I mean, sometimes you'll see a disparity, but usually within 2 or 3
there was quite a bit of
5%.
disparity between realestate.com's clearance rate and Domain's clearance rate. So, who's right here? The one thing I can say, viewers, when we give you our clearance rate,
it's correct.
It is 100% accurate.
Changed. Oh, no, accurate. Yeah, okay.
No, it is 100% accurate because we either sold it or we didn't.
Exactly right.
There's no
hiding.
There's no hiding. It's not like, we didn't report to ourselves 5 auctions that we didn't sell so that we can skew it.
What about competitors?
Our facts you can rely on 100%.
Well, God bless one of our competitors, Phil, who a number of years ago said, we have a 100% success rate of all the sales we report. And that really did happen, by the way.
Speaking of our competitors, I don't know whether you saw a post that I made on Instagram, but you'll have to love it because I posted it on Instagram about one of my competitors. I'm walking out of this building the other day.
I didn't see this.
And I've got this, I thought it was a really new outfit. It's a little bit out there. It's a little bit Italian, a little bit colourful. And I've walked out of the office wearing that outfit, and my competitor has walked towards me, looks at me with a snarl on his face, as he's known to have.
There are some snarlies.
And he says to me, "You look ridiculous."
Okay.
Right?
And where can we visit him in hospital?
Which I did smile about. Anyway, I wore that same outfit on Saturday, I think it was, and I put up on Instagram, this is what my competitor has said about me. Feedback, please. And overwhelmingly, people were complimentary and lovely. So thought I'd just share that little.
And you sold every
story.
auction on Saturday.
Correct.
Too, that you did.
Correct.
So you had a little bit of a catty moment back. Just a little bit about back at the competitor.
So
anyway.
if you're not following me on Instagram, Philip D. Kingston, get on, follow me. I need to get my followers up. So do me a favour, follow and post nice things about me.
Exactly
Thank
right,
you.
Phil. Let's go through some of the results from the weekend. By the way, Lakes Folly ran. I had a runner now in the Alice Springs Cup, Phil.
Yes.
How's that? The prestigious, time-honoured
In
Royal
the Alice Springs.
Yeah, I had a run in the Alice Springs Cup, the time-honoured Royal Alice Springs Cup, Philip. And I ran.
Is it like a dust bowl? Or
it is like a dust bowl. We didn't know how the horse would run on the dust bowl. Lakes Folly. Watch out for it. It's going to come
so
back.
I
didn't get to go there.
Tell me, did you fly the horse there, or did it go in a road train?
Well, it went from Adelaide. I reckon it would have been flown there. I reckon it went from. Well, I don't know how long Adelaide to Alice Springs.
I think it's probably maybe an hour's flight or an hour and a half flight.
Yeah, so it's probably 10 hours.
Probably 10 hours.
Could be anyway. It landed up there and came fourth, and we'll probably end up paying for more than.
Alice Springs Cup. Like, I got to tell you, really, quite frankly, have you ever been to Alice Springs?
No, have you?
So I've been to Alice Springs.
I'd like to go there.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Don't say anything
we did Alice Springs.
Sacred place.
Alice Springs. We did Kings Canyon. We did Uluru, of course. And if you've never done this, viewers, you really haven't seen part of Australia that is absolutely central to our history.
I've flown over it on the way to Vegas.
But I got to tell you, it's not the ideal place to put a racetrack.
Fair enough.
Right? And honestly, you drive around. I mean, when we drove, from Alice Springs to Uluru or to Kings Canyon, I mean, it's just stretches of red dust and emus. Now, I would understand.
I
would understand if the Alice Springs Cup was an emu race.
Yeah, probably lose on that too.
But sending beautiful racehorses across the country to Alice Springs, what a stupidity.
Anyway, we came fourth. It was quite
stupidity.
Let's move on.
If your horse can't win at the Alice Springs Cup.
It's Lakes Folly. There's people that love that.
What is it, $1 million race?
No, it was 70,000 for the winner, Phil. But we'll chase money everywhere. We don't mind.
Ridiculous.
Anyway, it was a lot of fun.
Gary,
people follow it. Can we talk about real estate?
Before we talk about real estate, this is central to real estate. And there's an article which will talk to here.
I know that.
I want to just talk about, do you want to talk about this or do you want me to talk about this?
I was watching the telly last night, Phil, and I flicked off from Sky for some reason.
Because you'd satisfied yourself in your extreme right-wing views.
No, the Sky Racing, Phil. Because I think I lost at the Dapto Dogs. I think I didn't have anything left. So I flipped over to the news and they were talking about property in April was the first month they've seen some stability and increase. Led by which state, Phil?
Well, that'd be Victoria.
City? It was led by Adelaide, Phil. Now, the city of churches, there you go. A great footy on the weekend, too. I don't know if you watched that Adelaide Collingwood game. Wow.
Incredible round of football.
Collingwood doing well, damn them. But got to say, Phil, that Adelaide was leading the way. Their prices have now firmed up. Talking about surging, and on Saturday afternoon you gave me that call, and we discussed the market's back. We said it last week, and it feels.
We called it first. We called it a couple of weeks ago. Property is back, and one of the number one reasons, Gary, that property is back, and you've got an article here which you will speak to. But the front page of Saturday's Age talked about migration. So I'm going to just quickly hand it to you because I don't want to steal all your thunder. You give me some facts, and then I will interpret them for our viewers because you're not great with this sort of stuff.
Phil, Westpac is saying that they've come out and they've said it, that prices are going to surge in 2024 because of high immigration. Nothing to do with interest rates. And by the way, this interest rate, look, it's grey, Phil. See it here? It's grey. Interest rates when a while ago, 18%, 1988, I think I was paying. That was a lot of fun in those days. So the interest rates are fair and reasonable commercial, and they seem to stop going up anyway. But notwithstanding interest rates, we've got all these people coming in, Phil. They've got to live somewhere. Property prices are going to continue to go up. That's my
viewers, here's the thing, right? So they've talked about 400,000 new immigrants for 2023, another 400,000 immigrants for 2024. Australia already has a chronic undersupply of housing, both for owner-occupiers and for renters. You bring in 800,000 people over the next 2 years. 800,000, divide that by 3, Gary. because there's generally on average 3 people to a house when we're talking about immigrants.
Yep.
So
266.66.
260 odd thousand new houses over and above the undersupply that we currently have for the existing population. So there is pressure on houses to go up. It's simple supply and demand driven economics.
And Sydney and Melbourne is where it's expected to happen.
Yep.
We'll have the greatest intake.
These are the 2 cities that most people want to come to.
Yep.
So it's just so obvious to us. And with regards to interest rates, we actually are not that concerned about where interest rates are. What we are concerned about is just the market understanding whether they're going to go up, stay where they are, or drop. If they stay, if everything stays where it is, then stability and certainty comes back to the market. And people just want to get on with their life. They readjust.
Now, Consumer Affairs, Philip, they're out there watching the agents. They're checking us out and seeing that we do the right thing around quote prices. I must say, Phil, that I feel that the quote system in Victoria is a very good system and one that's very well complied with. And I have to say that, there are properties that we sell that run way over the expectation, way over the quote. But, I think the general public are educated. They understand. That's the idea of auctions. They're competitive. And I have to say, personally, I never ever get a complaint or email about us underquoting. And I don't hear much about underquoting of other agents as well.
Well, I think here's a shout out to Consumer Affairs. I think that they're doing a good job.
Maybe we should get one on here, Phil.
Well, I did ask, and they will have an education program where they can bring people into our offices at some point.
Do they want to come on to GPTV? If they see this, they'll probably shut us down because it sort of shows that.
Possibly. But I think Consumer Affairs is doing a good job. I think the quoting system on balance, look, people are always going to complain. That is their right to do so. But on balance, I think it's a much healthier environment today than what it was 10 years ago.
Look what's going on in Queensland. You can't even quote a price in Queensland. So, go to Queensland. I know we've got Stephen, our passionate Queensland supporter, but he's going to even have to agree with this. You go to Queensland, say, excuse me, can you tell me how much this property, this apartment on the Gold Coast is going to go? And they just say, that's it.
That is the dumbest system on the planet. They can't. They can't quote anything. No. They can't underquote. They can't overquote.
They won't even quote you Shakespeare.
They can't quote.
No, can't quote
it's an absurdity. This is, and I look at a lot of property on the Gold Coast. We've got a lot of clients that want to buy there. This is the way a typical phone call goes, right? Let's role play this.
Okay.
Hello, it's Philip Kingston speaking. Gary, you've got an apartment in Bella.
Yes.
It's a 2-bedroom on the 11th floor.
Yes.
How much are you quoting?
Is that Philip Kingston, the footballer that used to play for Ormond because you were a great footballer, or is that Philip Kingston, real estate agent?
No. Can we just be straight here, Mr. Peer?
Yes.
I'm interested. I don't want to share my personal life with you. I just want to know, what are you quoting? Because I need to know whether I can afford it.
Look, you'll have to come and have a look at the property. It's a lovely property. We love it, but we can't tell you the quote price.
Well, can you give me an indication of the quote
price? No, I can't.
price?
You just have to have a look at the property, have a look at other sales, make your own opinion, see how you go. Good luck. We'll see you there soon.
And this is how you finally get there. Could you tell me, Mr. Peer, about other sales of the same similar apartment that have occurred in that building in the last 2 years?
Look, you'd really have to look at that yourself. But there was one sold above it that was identical, that sold yesterday for $836,000. But you would have to see how you felt that compared. And
that's how you get there. You actually have to go through a series of questions to ask the direct question.
It's like a maze, isn't it?
I'm not asking you, Mr. Peer, about that specific apartment, but if there was another apartment sold in the building or in a similar building in recent times, what would the price have been? And then the agent says, well, a similar apartment just got sold for $880,000. Would you regard this apartment as going to be likely to sell for the same price, and then they go back to the
I can't really tell you that. You'd have to have a look at it. You have to make your own opinion. You might think it's better. You may not think so. It's like Pac-Man. Remember Pac-Man? You go through the maze. That's what they are like over there, the agents. And they have no choice.
So, anyway, viewers, there is no perfect system.
There is some perfect sales, though, Philip. You kicked off in Hughesdale. We love you, Hughesdale. We love the people of Hughesdale. And so do you, even though you were cheeky about them on Sunday. You were cheeky, as is your nature. But 40 Bowen Street, Hughesdale, Philip, sold for $2,300,000. That's a great sale. We keep raving about Murrumbean and Hughesdale, Phil. They are going to be the best sale. They're already great.
How
getting better
happy
all the time.
Are we that we opened a Carnegie office and a Murrumbean office
we were
and
great.
a Bentley office?
Were we smart or just lucky?
Oh, just completely
I
lucky,
think so
Gary.
too,
There's nothing. Just for the record, viewers, we have had a lot of luck along our journey.
Bad luck.
No, we've had a lot of luck.
Good luck.
No, I am convinced that we are, well, we know we're not smart.
No, definitely not.
But we are incredibly...
I don't even think I'm smart. That's
we're
the difference. You think you're smart.
We're incredibly hardworking,
Yeah, we
and
are.
we're incredibly dedicated
We
to
are.
our clients.
Yeah,
If
and our
we'd
craft.
been smart, it would have been a bonus.
Yeah, it would have been great. And you wouldn't be watching this. You'd be watching something better. 7B, Elimatta. Road, Carnegie, Phil. 3 bidders there also. Great result. Sold for well above the expectation, 160 to 175.
And significantly more than what they'd paid for it only a couple of years ago.
There you go. That's a sign of the times.
So I can tell you now, if you think about the market, peaked in 2017, been a number of sales in recent times which have improved the pricing since 2017.
You know, main roads, Phil, there are people that say, oh, main roads are unattractive or unappealing, or they, they're not popular. Or now I say, just drive down Dandenong Road and see, are there any vacancies there? I don't see vacancies on Dandenong Road or North Road or any other main road. So main roads can be very popular, and it was so in North Road on Saturday.
It was. We had 8 people bidding there, Gary.
Yeah, there's huge numbers.
And it was the auction went on for so long, right? So long. I think we went up $100,000 in $1,000 bids. So it went for so long, and we had the crowd was inside. So, and we'll show you a picture up on the screen in a moment. It went so long, I went and got a chair. And I put the chair in the middle of the circle. I sat down on the chair and I took the bids from the chair because, quite frankly, I was a little bit tired.
When you said you took the bids from the chair wasn't making the bids. No, you were sitting on the chair.
No, that was the good old days, Gary, when the chairs and the trees used to bid.
No, we don't talk about that. We weren't around those times, Phil. GO2 at 43 Balaclava Road. That was sold, Philip, for $1,131,000, a little bit smidge over the range. So well done to Rafi Joffe.
Well done. Sold somewhere between 10 and 15% more than what they'd paid for it only 2 years ago.
Crottenhurst Avenue, Philip, sold. Well done to the vendors there. $2,725,000. Bought that property, Philip, with competition. First time sold, I think it might have been 50 years.
Big crowd at the auction. It was 50 years ago. It was 51 or 52. Big crowd at the auction. We love those 1950s, 1960s, 1970s houses. They are absolutely spectacular. And that was a great example of how good they are.
And our premium sale, Philip, with our premium home that was auctioned 330 in Langdon Road, Caulfield North. Congratulations to the buyer and seller alike. That property was being quoted in the 4s.
The quote range was 4.5 to 4.95. We cannot disclose the price, but a satisfactory outcome for both the vendors and delightful buyer who is excited to move in. And check out that quick house. I just want to quickly show up on screen that swimming pool, the enclosed swimming pool with the bridge across. Incredible.
And Phil, you got access from the back.
From the Yanaki,
which I didn't know that. So, and I know that just hold back your eye. I'm going around my eyes closed. Because today I drove down to Yanaki and I saw an auction soon sign, and I thought, geez, what's going on here, right? And then it took me a while to realise, and I thought, oh, that's the house on the other side of Langdon Road.
But he can tell you every horse that ran in the Alice Springs Cup and which Dapto dog got over the line first. But
you've got to go for the one box, Phil.
But a property with the 2-street frontage, literally 300 metres from where he lives.
Confused me, didn't it? Phil, let's move on to our auctions. We're not waiting for the weekend. Lucky
you're good at admin.
You think so?
No. Well, I know you are good at admin. Lucky you're good at admin.
I like admin, Phil.
Really?
Is that a snipe at admin? We've got a lot of people that work hard and dedicate their lives in admin.
But admin is a focus of yours. I just happen to be interested in buyers, sellers and housing.
Oh, is that it? Okay, 96 Kingsway, Phil. We're going to be there tomorrow in Glen Waverley.
Yes, a community shop.
I tell you what, that is a strip of strips, a buzzing, hustling, it's all happening there, happening little pocket.
96 Kingsway, Glen Waverley. If you're looking for a commercial investment, a great retail strip, come along.
We're going to be very, very busy in 7 suburbs on Saturday. We're going to kick off at 11:30am, Philip, in Albion Street. What a great location and beautiful looking
625 square metres of land that faces north at the rear, Gary, with a 15.24 metre frontage and a very, very livable, rentable, fix-upable house.
Phil, I am going to be in Nepean Highway on Saturday at 11:30am in Brighton East.
I love this house because I love Spanish mission architecture.
Yes.
I
love everything about the Spanish mission.
Spanish mission architecture never really caught on in Melbourne particularly, but if you go to Los Angeles, particularly around Melrose and that area, is all Spanish mission and it is magnificent. This is 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, couple of car parks, but it really doesn't get any more beautiful than that home.
Philip, you're going to be in Elsternwick at 12:30 in Bertram Street, a great address.
Aren't I lucky? Because this is a ripper, 4 bedrooms, not 3, but 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and something that a lot of these homes don't have, which is a double lock-up garage, Gary.
Jasper Road in Ormond being auctioned by Simon Radonick, handled by Viv Samuel.
This is a really good property with a wraparound courtyard garden area, magnificent inside, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 car space.
We're in Hughesdale, darling, in Darling Street, Hughesdale.
We are. I love it when you call me darling.
I know
feel
you do.
quite special.
Yes, and you should.
This is single story, Gary, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, a 2nd car space, wraparound garden areas. Love it.
A picture postcard, perfect facade, is just the start of this terrific home in this prestigious address. There is no better street in Elsternwick than Elizabeth Street being auctioned on Saturday.
Elizabeth Street, Gary, is the #1 street in Elsternwick. Having said that, there's 10 really good streets in Elsternwick, and I reckon number 10 is almost as good as number 1.
Pretty close.
But #1 is Elizabeth Street, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, a home that you can move straight into and not spend a cent, and on the west side of Elizabeth Street.
Indeed, you can nick off after that, Phil. You're done for the weekend, but Leo Samuel is still going. He's in Reed Street, Murrumbeena, Phil.
What a huge property this is. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, gorgeous courtyard gardens, and beautiful entertaining areas.
We're going to Hobart, Phil, not the actual city, but the street, Hobart Road, back in Murrumbeena at 3:30 on Saturday.
Check this one out, Gary. 1,050 square metres of prime Murrumbeena land. It comes with 6 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, 2 houses sitting on it. It's a development opportunity or an investment opportunity. Fabulous.
6 auctions on Sunday. Not a busy one for us, Phil, but still busy enough. We're going to start off in Balaclava Road. You're doing 5 of the 6 auctions. Kick it off at 11:30, Phil.
Gary, this is the penthouse at 48 Balaclava Road. One of only 2, so there's only 2 penthouses on the top. This is 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, double car park in the secure basement. It's got lift access, and one of the great features of this property is the extraordinary views that you get from the wraparound terraces.
The Empress of St Kilda presents at 11:30 in Empress Road, Phil.
Gary, beautiful home, a gorgeous single-fronted Victorian house. They are oh so popular. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and Empress is the most incredible spot.
We've talked about this home before, Philip. It's Craddock Avenue, one of the best streets in Caulfield North at 12:30 p.m.
Gary, 847 square metres of land, so this house is underpinned by the most incredible parcel of land. It's a beautiful home. You can move straight in there, not spend a cent. It's a contemporary home. My favourite feature of this house, Gary, is when you walk from the Kitchen Meals family room into the back garden. The back garden feels like it's park-like proportions.
It is, isn't it?
It really is an
setting.
extraordinary setting.
That's a beautiful home. We're looking forward to that. A very special offering coming to the market on Sunday, Philip. We're off to Regent Street after that, right in the heart of Elsternwick, the home to the block, Philip, Regent Street.
Gary, if you think about Regent Street, which is next door to Elizabeth Street, but how regal is that part of Elsternwick? Because you've got St George's Road, then you've got Elizabeth, then you've got Regent Street.
Yes,
so, you know, a very exclusive royal pocket. And of course, the joy of that location is you do not need a car because you've got the train station, the tram line, and all of the incredible shopping in Glen Huntly Road on your doorstep. Gary, this is 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, off-street car parking. That is the most incredible home.
I used to have the pleasure of delivering newspapers to all those homes, Phil. The Regent Street, Elizabeth Street, that was on my run.
And I do apologise to all of those people that didn't get their papers because there was many mornings he slept in.
No, a few of them, not many, but a couple.
Many.
Let's move on to Heather Road in Caulfield South. Philip, this is a little bit of a hidden jewel in Caulfield South, this street.
And I do remember, you know, you say you only sleep in occasionally. I do remember when we were in our late teens, early 20s, staying over at your house.
Yes.
And your father, much to his frustration, used to try to wake you up.
He had a few different methods.
And he'd shake you and he'd hit you with the pillow. He'd do all of those things. He'd finally just come in with a glass of water and throw it on you.
He threw the water on me. He put the rubbish bin on me. He used to put the cat. That was his favourite, to put the cat under the blanket so the cat would crawl its way and scratch me in the morning to wake me up. So, you know, a solid sleeper, Phil, which is a good thing. Philip, let's bring down the curtain on Sunday at 3:30 p.m, 26A Spring Road. What a fine-looking home.
Gary, what a fabulous home. 3 or 4 bedrooms, a study, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking. And, of course, Spring Road has the park going right down through the centre, a highly It's a spectacular street and highly unusual to get that parkland setting.
Phil, we've got a couple of feature properties I'd love to talk about before we go. One of those is in Wilgah Street. What a beautiful looking home this is, ready to move straight into.
Shout out to the vendors there, because they've done the most beautiful renovation. And I walked in to do the video tour, watch it online, walked in and said to the owners who are both there, I said, you guys have nailed this.
Yep.
Because everything I thought was completely on trend and beautifully done.
So looking forward to that one, Philip, coming up in May in Wilgah Street. Daniel will be very excited about handling that. And we're very excited to be handling 28 Omar Street in Caulfield South. This is a architect well known and very, very well renowned and well considered architect, Philip, selling his own home. Well, we're selling his home. And of course, this is 38 Omar Street, just in that little cul-de-sac right at the end, just past Alders. Just a few beautiful homes there, Philip. What a great property this is, and what a block of land.
Incredible. This is the most stunning home. I really enjoyed being there. I really enjoyed doing the video tour. A large parcel of north-facing land with really the best laid out floor plan that you'll see. And viewers, it's always about the floor plan because fashions come and go. But if you have to change a floor plan, that becomes expensive. I don't reckon you'd change a thing in this house.
Phil, that's a big wrap. We've rambled on. We've gone on for maybe even a bit too long. But we are always passionate about bringing the real estate and the general news to the viewers on GPTV. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next week. I'm Gary Pearce.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a great week.